Back on April 10th, the Ithaca Sciencenter was told all federally awarded grant funding was terminated. WENY's Alicia Solorzano spoke with the museum executive director today to learn how these cuts affect operations and improvement projects. Alicia.
Renata, the now terminated grants from the Institute of Museum and Library Services totaled to nearly $500,000. That money was earmarked by the Science Center to help with two key projects. Leaders say they were meant to continue their mission of bringing innovative STEM education to local families and students. Libraries and museums in the United States rely heavily on the Institute of Museum and Library Services as a primary source of federal support. However, because of the executive order continuing the reduction of the federal bureaucracy issued by the Trump administration on March 14th, funding cuts have hit institutions across the country, including the Science Center in Ithaca.
So we knew that IMLS was under threat, but we didn't realize our grants were. We thought that these grants would be able to finish, we'd be able to finish them out, but it was a very immediate notification.
The Science Center has been open since 1983 and welcomes around 105,000 visitors each year. Over the years, the outdoor science park, one of the space's biggest attractions, has seen a lot of wear and tear. The museum received nearly $500,000 in multi-year grants that Courtnar says was meant to improve the park and begin a museum-library partnership to bring science kits and training to libraries across the region.
Admission doesn't cover our costs. We are going to look at all the other places that we have income, both donations, our membership fees, all of the parts that to try to figure out ways of continuing to do the work at the level that people expect when they walk in our door.
Work had begun on both projects already. However, the Science Center has had to wrap those up in what they call an orderly way. Only about $100,000 of the grant money had been spent, but the remaining $400,000 is now terminated. But Courtnar says they won't let this bump in the road stop operations.
Our doors are not going to close. We are going to be here and we are going to continue serving this community. But the way that looks will be very different when we can't don't have enough staff to reach outside of our doors, when things begin to look worn and no longer safe and we have to shrink a little bit what our footprint looks like. If the science park can't be open because it really isn't a safe and welcoming place anymore, the impacts can be really huge. And we're looking really for the community's support.
While moving forward without federal funds will be difficult, Courtnar says they'll continue to inspire curiosity, collaboration, and all kinds of thinking. She adds that the Science Center is a regional experience and will keep bringing field trips, workshops, special events, and more to the community. Renata.